Hello everybody, Carrie at the Schmidt House. It's been a while since I made a video. We put a few out. Andrea's been doing them. Some of our vacations and other things she's been doing. But I've been busy, haven't really had a lot of time. The stuff I've been doing, I don't think would have been very exciting to anybody. Just working, cleaning up. And I've been having some back issues. Went to the doctor, got it all checked out, and yeah, I've got a herniated disc and arthritis in my back, just all old people stuff. So I've been taking meds for that, feeling a lot better. And I decided I'd do a video I'm kind of excited about. I'm going to make some old-fashioned salt pickles. It's something I grew up eating. Both of my grandmothers on my mom's side and my dad's side always made them. Of course, my Oma Schmidt on my dad's side, she passed when I was younger, so I really don't remember her as well. But my Oma Weinheimer, my mom's mom, she just passed a few years ago. Of course, she had Alzheimer's for a while, but yeah, I remember her salt pickles very well. She would always make us a big jar because my dad loved them. And we've been spending the last couple of weeks, me and my siblings, my aunts asked us to go clean out their house, her house. And there's, you know, well over 100 years of stuff there, memories, and just all the stuff those people did on the ranch. They were self-sufficient. You know, lived their whole life just being self-sufficient. Back when it was just normal to do that. You know, now you see people doing the off-grid and all that. It was just a normal way of life for them. That's all they ever knew. But in going through some of the stuff, one of the things I came across was my grandmother's gallon jars or pickling bottles, and I wanted them. She also had some of the old stone crocks that they would make sauerkraut, and they made pickles in them too, and probably what we call sausfleisch, the salt pork. But I didn't want to be greedy, take all that stuff. You know, I know my siblings, you know, they want something too. So I just took the glass jars, and I'm going to use one of them today to make the salt pickles. I don't know her recipe. She never wrote nothing down. But my sister sent me a recipe that my dad had. And if I was a betting man, I would say my dad got it from her, because he loved her salt pickles, and he would bug her every year to make some. And she always did. She loved doing it. So anyway, I'm going to start walking you through what we're doing here. Kind of show you what's happening. So here in my pot, I'm making a brine. I put 6 cups of water, a half a cup of vinegar, and a 1/4 cup of salt is what it called for, pickling salt. I just use this stuff here, candy pickling salt. But I like it really salty, and I would say my grandmother probably put a little bit more than the 1/4 cup that it called for. So did I. I didn't put a half a cup, but a little more than 1/4 cup in there. And I'm going to bring that to a boil to get it all mixed up good. Here's my cucumbers. I picked them from the garden this morning. Don't know if it's going to be enough to fill this jar. This is one of my grandmother's jars. I stuffed them all in there whole, and they fit pretty easily. So that means when I cut these up, they're probably going to be loose in there, but it'll have to be fine because that's what I've got. I went to a little store in town this morning. They have a few vegetables there, and they had a couple of cucumbers in there, but they were pretty rough looking, and I wasn't going to put them in my thing. And something else I was looking for we didn't have was dill, fresh dill. So I'm just going to use this here dill weed. I think that'll be just fine. I'm sure my grandmother used fresh dill, but and also garlic. Her recipe didn't call for garlic, it said onions. but I'm going to do the garlic. I've looked at a lot of these old vintage recipes from our area, old cookbooks, and a lot of people put garlic. There's some of the real old ones that all they use is salt and water, and that's it. But I wanted to give it a little more than that. I wanted to put some dill in there. I'm sure my grandmother put dill in there, because I remember that flavor. So I'm going to turn this on, get it boiling, bring it to a boil, and I'm going to start slicing my cucumbers. These are some good looking cucumbers. They smell really good. My goodness. Sit here and eat one like that. In general, you can slice them in quarters, leave them a little bigger. You know, you don't want to make them too small, or half. If they're kind of small anyway, you can just cut them in half. These are all pretty fat, decent sized ones. So, and I don't know what type of cucumber. I think you'd use a regular bigger cucumber for salt pickles. I think these are more of a pickling variety for like if you're gonna make dill pickles or something, in a smaller pickles, sweet pickles, in a quart jar. This one's kind of curved. It's not the best for this, but it'll work. It's nothing fancy. We're using what we've got, which is how the old people did, whatever came out of their garden. They didn't worry about if it was fat, skinny, whatever. It's what they had. That's what they used, and it worked for them. Oops, I forgot to cut the chips off this one. Which I don't know that really matters. Yeah, this one's a little overripe. Getting a little seedy in there. But it'll work. Some of those I probably could have split again. It's okay. So I'm going to take my jar here. And I'm going to put, I don't have whole garlic. That's what it calls for, whole garlic. I just have this minced garlic. I'm just going to put I'm just going to leave it at that. 1 teaspoon minced garlic. And I'll have this on video anyway. If it turns out and I feel like it needs more, then the next time I'll know to add a little more. But we're going to go with that. And now we're going to pack our jars. Or our jar, or 1 jar. For me, it's pretty nostalgic right now doing this, knowing that the last time pickles were put in this jar, my grandmother did it, and she was healthy and happy and doing what she loved to do. And I sure do thank her for not throwing anything away. I don't mind cleaning up this stuff at her house. Maybe she knew that one of us would be interested in some of these things. So okay, now that we got this in there, I believe I'm going to put the dill on top. this dill. I'm not going to put a whole lot either. I don't know how this dry stuff converts to fresh, but I feel like maybe a teaspoon of this, sprinkle over the top. And the thing about it is, you know, you don't seal these jars really, so I can wait a day or two, test the brine, take a little sip of it. And if I feel like it needs a little more, I'll add a little more. But I know this stuff is strong. Strong, strong, strong. There we go. And all we need to do is get our brine boiling, and we'll pour it in there, seal it up, and I believe we're good to go. Okay, we're gonna go ahead and pour our brine in here. And I'm not sure I'm gonna have enough brine since I wasn't able to pack my pickles. I might have to make a little more. You want to have at least an inch over the top. Just leave a little bit for head space. No, it doesn't have to be a lot of head space on there, just a little something. You know, I don't have quite enough. What I think I'm going to do is just use water to add that little bit. Just straight water. Something else I forgot to mention when you're doing this, they say you're supposed to use spring water or well water. Not chlorinated water. And what I have here at the house, I'm on a water system, so it's chlorinated, but not much. I can't even taste the chlorine in our water hardly here, so I am going to add a little bit of salt just to make sure it's good. I'm not going to add any more vinegar. And then I'm going to have to put something down in there to weight these down so they stay in the juice. I think my grandmother would pack them in there so tight she didn't have to worry about them floating up. But I'm gonna have to put something in there, and I'm thinking it might be something like this. I can set in there, push them down. Okay, use what you got. I found a plastic lid that fit down in there, but it kept floating up. So I took this shot glass, put it in there, and that'll push that lid down and keep all the pickles in the brine. Put the lid on it. And we'll let it set. Let it set for 4 or 5 days is what instructions call for. We'll see what happens, but I'll test that brine daily just to make sure it seems like it's right. But hope you enjoyed the video. It's very easy to make these pickles. A lot of people might be thinking, wow, well, salt's not good for you. Why are you making salt pickles? Why are you doing this? Why do people do that? Well, I think 100 years ago, way back when, people weren't buying all the processed canned foods that are all full of salt. They produced their own food. It was natural. They didn't have salt in it. So a lot of these people needed salt. They worked all day, sweated, worked hard out in the fields, and they needed salt in their diet. And this was easy to make. I mean, it's just more nostalgic, and I do miss the taste of salt pickles. So don't forget to like and subscribe. We're going to have some other good videos coming out. I think we're going to try to do some sauerkraut in an old stone crock, and also maybe do some salt pork. Should be fun. So, until the next time, God bless.